A warm welcome learners. My name is Shrishti Tamrakar. I am Assistant Professor at Department of Management and Commerce, Pandit Sundarlal Sharma, Open University, Chhattisgarh, Bilaspur. In today's session, we are going to discuss about dividend decision in financial management. As we all know, there are three types of decision in financial management. The first one is financing decision, second is investment decision, and third one is dividend decision. Here, the first one is investment decision. Investment decision basically involves allocating resource towards projects that are expected to generate revenue in near future. Here we invest in assets like new equipments, land and building, technology, research and development, etc. Now, financing decision. Financing decision basically involves determining best way for a business to raise fund to support growth and operation. Here, we decide the optimum mix of debt and equity for a firm, like through debt financing, equity financing or hybrid financing. Now, dividend decision. Dividend decision basically involves determining how much of company's profit will be distributed to shareholders in the form of dividend and how much profit should be retained in a company for future investment. Here our next topic is theories of dividend decision. Dividend theories. Dividend theories is categorized into two categories. The first one is relevance theory and second one is irrelevance theory. Relevance theory holds that the dividend decision of any company affect the value of firm. Value of firm means affect the share price of that company, and irrelevance theory says that there is no relationship between the dividend decision and the value of firm. In relevance theory, we will study two models. The first one is Walters model and second one is Gordon's model. And in irrelevance theory, we will study about approach, that is Modi, Gilani and Miller approach. Under relevance theory, here our first model is Walters model. Walters model is based on following assumptions. The first one is internal financing. Internal financing का मतलब होता है जो भी हमारे पास इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज आएगी उनको हम किसके थ्रू फाइनेंस करेंगे, जो अवेलेबल है हमारे पास, जो कैपिटल, जो प्रॉफिट हमारे पास अवेलेबल है उसके थ्रू हम उसका फाइनेंस करेंगे, उसमें इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. नेक्स्ट वन इज कांस्टेंट रिटर्न एंड कांस्टेंट कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. कांस्टेंट रिटर्न का मतलब होता है कि जो भी हमारा एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न होगा वो हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहेगा, सेम रहेगा. सिमिलरली हमारा कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल भी सेम रहेगा. नेक्स्ट 100% पे आउट और रिटेंशन. हम यदि वॉल्टर्स मॉडल के थ्रू हम अपना डिविडेंड डिसीजन लेते हैं तो हम क्या करेंगे, 100% पे ऑफ करेंगे या 100% रिटेन करेंगे अपने कंपनी में. नेक्स्ट है कांस्टेंट ईपीएस एंड डिविडेंड. हमारा जो अर्निंग पर शेयर रहेगा और डिविडेंड रहेगा वो भी कांस्टेंट रहेगा. Now here we have formula for finding out the market price of per share under Walters model, where P is equals to dividend plus R upon K multiplied by earning per share minus dividend whole divided by K, where P is market price per share, DIV is dividend per share, EPS is the earning per share, R is the average rate of return and K is the cost of capital. Optimum payout ratio under Walters model. फर्स्ट वन इज ग्रोथ फर्म. ग्रोथ फर्म का मतलब होता है कि हमारे पास फ्यूचर में इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑप्शंस है, हमारे पास फ्यूचर में इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज है. तो उस केस में हम क्या करेंगे, जो भी आप कंपनी प्रॉफिट जनरेट करेगी उसको 100% रिटेन करेंगे और फ्यूचर जो भी प्लान्स और प्रोजेक्ट्स हमारे पास अवेलेबल है उसमें हम इन्वेस्ट करेंगे. सेकेंड वन इज नॉर्मल फर्म. ये एक इनडिफरेंस सिचुएशन है जहां पे हम कंपनी रिटेन करे या पे आउट करे एज अ डिविडेंड, इट विल नॉट अफेक्ट द वैल्यू ऑफ फर्म. नेक्स्ट इज डिक्लाइनिंग फर्म. डिक्लाइनिंग फर्म का मतलब होता है ऐसी फर्म, ऐसी कंपनी जिसकी सेल्स क्या हो रही है, डिक्लाइन हो रही है, जिसके प्रोडक्ट की डिमांड कम हो रही है. तो हम क्या करते हैं इसमें 100% एज अ डिविडेंड जो भी प्रॉफिट हमने जनरेट किया है उसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हैं शेयर होल्डर्स को. क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ वॉल्टर्स मॉडल और लिमिटेशंस ऑफ वॉल्टर्स मॉडल. फर्स्ट वन इज एक्सटर्नल फाइनेंसिंग. जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि इंटरनल फाइनेंसिंग सफिशिएंट नहीं होता है सारे प्रोजेक्ट को फाइनेंस करने में. सेकेंड वन इज कांस्टेंट रिटर्न. रिटर्न हमारा फ्लेक्सिबल होता है, हमारा चेंजिंग नेचर का होता है जो कि इकोनॉमी पे डिपेंड करता है. नेक्स्ट वन इज कांस्टेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल. हमारे पास बहुत सारे डिफरेंट सोर्सेज ऑफ फाइनेंस अवेलेबल हैं, उनसे जो एसोसिएटेड कॉस्ट रहती है वो डिपेंड करती है उस टाइम क्या रिस्क उस पे है. So we can say that it is not possible that the cost of capital will be always constant. Under relevance theory, we have second model, that is Gordon's model. This is the assumptions of Gordon's model. The first one is all equity firm. All equity firm का मतलब होता है कि जितना भी हम finance arrange करेंगे वो equity shares के through करेंगे. Second one is no external finance. हम external financing का help नहीं लेंगे. Third is constant return. Fourth is constant cost of capital, and fifth one is no taxation. Now here we have formula of Gordon's model where P0 is equals to D1 whole upon K minus G, where P0 is equals to theoretical value of the action, D is equals to early dividend for the first period, K is equals to market discount rate, and G is the dividend growth rate. Now interpretation of Gordon's model. So when company's return is more than its cost of capital, then we will retain more in our company and less distribute to shareholder as a dividend. Next one is when R is less than K, that is when return is less than cost of capital, we will distribute more to shareholders as a dividend and less we will retain for further investment. After that, when K is equals to R, then it is an indifferent situation. It will not affect any value of firm, whether you retain or distribute as a dividend to shareholders. Our next model is MM model, that is Modi, Gilani and Miller approach. It is a irrelevance model which says that there is a no relationship between the dividend decision and the value of firm. According to MM, under a perfect market situation, the dividend policy of a firm is irrelevant as it does not affect the value of firm. They argues that the value of firm depends on firm's earning which results from its investment policy. Now assumptions of MM approach. Here the first one is perfect competition market. There will be no taxation, there will be no risk in the market. Now here we have formula under MM approach to find out the market price of per share in the beginning of the year. P0 is equals to D1 plus P1 upon 1 plus KE, that is cost of equity. Next formula is to find out the price of per share at the end of the year, where P1 is equals to P0 multiplied by 1 plus KE minus D1. Now P0 means market price per share at the beginning of the year, D1 is the expected dividend at the end of the period, P1 is the market price per share at the end of the year, and K is the cost of equity capital. In today's session, we have discussed about different theories of dividend decision, and the numerical part of these theories we will discuss in the next session. Thank you.